Everyone has a favorite season, right? Maybe you love the cold, crisp air of winter, or perhaps you're all about the warm days of summer. But have you ever wondered why we experience seasons at all? And more importantly, what would it be like if we could travel to other worlds, where seasons work in ways we can't even imagine? Imagine a world where four seasons happen simultaneously, or one where the weather can change drastically in a single day. If that sounds mind-boggling, hold on tight, because we're about to take you on a journey across the universe, exploring the most bizarre, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying seasons that exist beyond our own planet. Welcome to Galactic Discovery's quest. Let's dive into a world of wonders. Let's begin with what we know best, Earth. Our planet has four distinct seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. But did you know that the way these seasons change isn't as simple as Earth moving closer to or farther away from the Sun? While many people think that Earth's distance from the Sun dictates the seasons, the truth is a bit more complex. The real reason we experience seasons is due to Earth's axial tilt, which is about 23.5 degrees. As Earth orbits the Sun, the tilt causes different parts of the planet to be exposed to varying amounts of sunlight throughout the year. For example, when the northern hemisphere tilts towards the Sun, it experiences summer, while the southern hemisphere is in winter. But it's not just a simple tilt. The Earth wobbles slightly as it orbits the Sun, changing the tilt over thousands of years. This phenomenon, known as axial precession, means that the tilt angle slowly changes, creating long-term shifts in our climate. In fact, over the course of millions of years, this wobble has caused drastic changes in Earth's climate. Imagine if our planet's tilt increased or decreased. Suddenly, we could have more extreme seasons, or maybe even seasons that never change. Now, let's leave Earth behind and head to Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun. You might think that because it's so close to the Sun, Mercury experiences the most extreme temperatures. And you'd be right. But here's the catch: Mercury's seasons aren't exactly like what we experience on Earth. Mercury has a very elliptical orbit, which means its distance from the Sun changes dramatically throughout the year. When it's closest to the Sun, temperatures can soar to over 450 degrees Celsius. But when it's farthest from the Sun, the temperatures drop to a freezing -180 degrees Celsius. So, while Mercury's orbit doesn't create the four seasons like Earth's, it is what could be considered two extreme seasons: a brutal summer and a freezing winter. Mercury's surface is a harsh environment, but its weather isn't too varied. It's an eternal battle between the scorching heat during its day and the bitter cold at night. No mild spring or autumn here, just pure extremes. Next up, Venus, Earth's twin sister in size and structure. But, oh boy, this is where things get weird. Venus is often called the hottest planet in the solar system, and with good reason. Despite being farther from the Sun than Mercury, Venus is absolutely scorching. Venus has a thick, toxic atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide and clouds of sulfuric acid. This thick atmosphere traps heat through a runaway greenhouse effect, causing Venus to have an average surface temperature of about 450 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt lead. Unlike Earth, Venus doesn't experience seasonal changes due to its very slight tilt of just 3 degrees. What this means is that Venus remains in a constant state of summer, with no breaks for cooler seasons. While you might imagine living on Venus would feel like an eternal summer vacation, in reality, it's like living in a constant, hellish heat wave. So much for enjoying the breeze on a warm day. Mars, the red planet. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Like Earth, Mars has an axial tilt of about 25 degrees, meaning it does experience four seasons. But here's the twist: Mars' orbit is much longer than Earth's. A full Martian year is equivalent to 687 Earth days, meaning each season on Mars lasts around 2 Earth years. Because of this long orbit, the Martian seasons are much more extreme. Summer on Mars can reach a toasty 20 degrees Celsius, but during winter, temperatures can plummet to a bone-chilling minus 150 degrees Celsius. Mars also has dust storms that can engulf the entire planet, blocking sunlight for weeks. So, while Mars does have the 4 seasons we're familiar with, they are much more extreme and unpredictable. Imagine being caught in one of Mars' infamous dust storms that can whip up winds of up to 100 meters per second. These storms can last for weeks, and when they pass, they leave the planet's surface frozen in a harsh, desolate winter. There's no warm spring to look forward to, just dust and ice. Jupiter is a gas giant, and at first glance, you might think it has no seasons at all. After all, it has an axial tilt of just 3 degrees and an almost circular orbit. But recent research has revealed something surprising. Jupiter does experience subtle seasonal changes. Jupiter's vast atmosphere undergoes cyclical fluctuations in temperature and storm activity. These changes occur over fixed periods of time and seem to be linked to remote communication within its atmosphere. Remote communication in atmospheric science refers to changes that occur in one area of a planet's atmosphere that can influence another region, sometimes over vast distances. This is similar to phenomena here on Earth, like the El Niño effect, where changes in one part of the world can affect weather patterns globally. The most famous weather system on Jupiter is the Great Red Spot, a massive storm that has been raging for hundreds of years. But scientists have discovered that its intensity and size seem to fluctuate in sync with the seasonal cycles on Jupiter, showing that even this gas giant has its own version of changing seasons. Now, let's talk about Saturn, the jewel of our solar system. Saturn also experiences 4 seasons, just like Earth. But here's the catch: Saturn's orbit is huge, taking 29.5 Earth years to complete. This means each of Saturn's seasons lasts a staggering 7.5 Earth years. During the northern summer, Saturn's atmosphere turns golden as sunlight floods the planet, causing it to shine brightly. But when winter arrives, Saturn's famous rings cast long shadows, cooling the planet and making it much darker. One of the most fascinating things about Saturn is the way its rings interact with the planet's seasons. When sunlight hits the rings at just the right angle, they reflect light into the atmosphere, causing the planet to glow with a warm golden hue. At Saturn's North Pole, there is a mysterious hexagonal storm that has fascinated scientists for years. Some believe that the hexagon's shape is influenced by seasonal changes, particularly in the way sunlight interacts with the atmosphere. This could mean that Saturn's seasons play a role in the formation and behavior of these strange storm systems. Uranus is perhaps the strangest planet in our solar system. Unlike Earth, which has an axial tilt of 23.5 degrees, Uranus is tilted 98 degrees, meaning it spins on its side. This results in extremely unusual seasonal changes. Uranus seasons last 21 years each, with a continuous cycle of winter and summer. But what's even weirder is that Uranus' northern hemisphere is in constant daylight during one half of its orbit, while the southern hemisphere is plunged into complete darkness. And when the seasons switch, it's as if the planet does a dramatic flip. One hemisphere is plunged into frigid darkness, while the other basks in daylight for 2 decades. During the transition between seasons, Uranus experiences massive storms that can be more intense than anything seen on Earth. The planet's extreme tilt means that its poles are pointed directly at the Sun during different points in its orbit, leading to wild temperature fluctuations and unpredictable weather patterns. We've explored the seasons of our solar system, but what if I told you the most bizarre and unpredictable seasons exist far beyond the planets we know? Take Kepler-413b, an exoplanet located in the constellation Cygnus. This planet orbits two stars, and from its surface, you'd witness not one, but two sunrises and sunsets every day. Imagine trying to figure out whether you need a jacket or sunglasses, or both. Then there's XO-3b, a world where winds can travel faster than the speed of sound, and temperatures soar to an unimaginable 2,000 degrees Celsius. The planet's seasons change in a matter of hours, and its violent storms could carry you away before you even realize what happened. These worlds are the stuff of science fiction, but thanks to our ever-improving technology, we may soon learn about planets with even more extreme seasonal phenomena. Who knows what awaits us in the far reaches of the universe? Seasons aren't just something we experience on Earth. They are a fundamental part of the way planets work, and understanding how they function on other worlds can help us better understand our own planet and the future of life here. Whether it's the extreme heat of Mercury, the eternal summer of Venus, or the strange 21-year-long winters of Uranus, the universe is full of seasonal wonders and mysteries that have yet to be fully explored. Want to learn more about the incredible mysteries of the universe? Don't forget to hit like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to Galactic Discovery's Quest for more mind-blowing content. Let's keep exploring the cosmos together. There's so much more out there to discover. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and your eyes on the stars.